At 70 years old, Kevin Costner is finally sharing the real story about Robert Redford. Kevin Costner was born with the name Kevin Michael Costner on January 18, 1955, in a place called Linwood, California. Kevin Michael Costner grew up in a regular working-class family, which means his parents worked hard for their money. His dad, William Costner, had a job as an electrician and also worked for a utility company. His mom, Sharon Ray, had a job helping people as a welfare worker. Kevin was the youngest of 3 boys in his family. When Kevin was growing up, his family had to move around a lot because of his dad's job. These moves from place to place taught Kevin how to adapt to new situations, be independent, and stay strong no matter what. These were qualities that would later help him become a great actor and shape how he lived his life. When Kevin was a little kid, he loved stories and being creative, but back then, he didn't dream about being a movie star at all. He went to college at California State University in Fullerton, where he studied marketing and finance, which is all about business and money. It was during his last years in college that he discovered he really loved acting. One day, he met a famous actor named Richard Burton on an airplane, and that meeting changed his whole life forever. After that, Costner decided he was going to become an actor no matter what. He took acting classes, performed in small theater shows, and worked all kinds of random jobs just to pay his bills and get by. He kept trying and never gave up, and he always believed in himself. Eventually, all his hard work and dedication started to pay off. Kevin Costner didn't become famous overnight. It was a slow process that took years of hard work and never giving up. His early career was filled with small, minor roles that not many people noticed. One of his first big chances came when a director named Lawrence Kasdan gave him a part in a movie called The Big Chill in 1983. But when the movie came out, all of Kevin's scenes had been cut out and weren't in the final version. However, Kasdan remembered how natural and charismatic Costner was. So later, he cast him again in a movie called Silverado in 1985, and that's the film that finally got him noticed by more people. This exposure and recognition led to him getting cast in more and more successful films. These movies showed that he could play the classic American hero really well, someone who was rugged, honest, sincere, and quietly powerful. The late 1980s and early 1990s were the golden years of Costner's acting career. His performance in a movie called The Untouchables in 1987 made everyone see him as a real leading man and star. Then movies like Bull Durham in 1988 and Field of Dreams in 1989 made him a name that everyone in America knew. These films showed his deep connection to stories about doing the right thing, making up for past mistakes, and the strength of the human spirit. These were stories that really touched people's hearts and meant a lot to audiences everywhere. Then came the movie Dances with Wolves in 1990, which would define and create his entire legacy. Costner didn't just act in this movie, he also directed it and produced it, which means he was in charge of making the whole thing. The epic film became a huge cultural phenomenon that everyone was talking about. It won 7 Academy Awards, which are the biggest and most important awards in movies. These included Best Picture and Best Director, and this success made Costner's place in movie history permanent and unshakable. His vision and bravery to tell a story about Native American culture with empathy, respect, and depth set a completely new standard for Hollywood films. Throughout the entire 1990s, Costner continued to rule and dominate the box office with a mix of big historical epic films and romantic dramas. These included Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves in 1991, JFK in 1991, The Bodyguard in 1992, and Wyatt Earp in 1994. The Bodyguard, especially, became an international sensation all around the world. It paired him with the famous singer Whitney Houston In one of the most iconic and memorable romantic films of all time, the movie's soundtrack, which featured the song I Will Always Love You, became one of the best-selling albums in history. This success made Costner's star power even bigger and more impressive. Despite some occasional setbacks and failures like Waterworld in 1995 and The Postman in 1997, both movies were criticized because they cost too much money and were maybe too ambitious. Costner was still admired and respected. People loved him for his boldness and his willingness to take creative risks, even when others thought he might fail. Beyond just his film career, Kevin Costner has shown he has immense versatility and many different talents. He is also a talented musician and serves as the lead singer of a band called Kevin Costner and Modern West. It's a country rock band that has toured and performed all around the world internationally. His music often reflects the same storytelling instincts he has as an actor. He sings songs about love, loss, and the American frontier. These songs echo and show the same authenticity and realness that defines his acting work. In recent years, Costner has experienced a major career comeback and renaissance with his role as John Dutton in the highly acclaimed television series Yellowstone, which started in 2018 and continues to the present day. His portrayal and performance as the tough, emotionally complex patriarch and leader of a Montana ranching family has earned him a whole new generation of fans. It has also brought him critical praise from reviewers and critics, proving that his magnetism, charm, and talent remain timeless and will never fade. Off the screen and in his personal life, Costner's life has been equally rich, full, and grounded in reality. He has 7 children total, and he has spoken many times about how being a father is one of his greatest joys in life. He is known for his humility, being down to earth, and his generosity toward others. He has supported and donated to numerous charitable causes over the years, including environmental initiatives to protect nature and children's organizations. Despite all the immense fame and being so well known, Costner has maintained an image of integrity and authenticity. He has rarely been caught up in the trappings and excess behaviors of Hollywood life. He prefers living a quiet life, ranching, playing music, and spending quality time with his family. He chooses this over walking red carpets and being in gossip columns and celebrity news. Kevin Costner's romantic life and relationships have been just as captivating and layered as the stories he brings to the screen in his movies. Over the years, his marriages to Cindy Silva first and later to Christine Baumgartner have each marked distinct and different chapters in his personal and professional journey through life. Both marriages and unions shaped him in profound and deep ways, revealing and showing the complexities and challenges of balancing fame, family, and personal growth across multiple decades of Hollywood stardom and celebrity. Kevin Costner's first marriage was to Cindy Silva, who was his college sweetheart. That means they fell in love when they were young students. He met her while they were both attending and going to California State University, Fullerton. The two got married in 1978, which was long before Costner achieved the fame and success that would eventually make him one of the most recognized and well-known actors in the entire world. Cindy was much more than just a supportive wife to him. She was a grounding force and anchor during his early uncertain years, when he was just an aspiring actor trying to make it. In interviews over the years, Costner often gave credit to her and said she helped him stay focused on his dreams during times when the road to success seemed completely impossible and out of reach. The couple built a family together and raised 3 children whose names are Annie, Lily, and Joe. During this time, Costner's career started to blossom and grow. During the 1980s and early 1990s, when Costner became a household name, that everyone knew through blockbuster hit films such as Dances with Wolves, Field of Dreams, and The Bodyguard. Cindy often stood beside him at movie premieres and events. She represented stability, devotion, and loyalty amidst all the glitz, glamour, and craziness of Hollywood life. However, as Kevin's fame grew bigger and bigger, the demands and pressures of his career began to take a serious toll on their relationship and marriage. He had to spend extended long periods away from home on film sets, shooting movies. This, coupled and combined with the immense pressures of living a celebrity life, put a lot of strain on their marriage. In 1994, after being together for 16 years, Kevin and Cindy got divorced and separated. It was a highly publicized separation that everyone heard about. It reportedly cost Kevin around $80 million in the settlement, which was one of the largest divorce settlements in Hollywood history at that time. Despite all the pain and hurt of their breakup, both Kevin and Cindy made an effort to focus on parenting their children together and maintaining a respectful relationship with each other. Costner would later look back and reflect on that period of his life as one of soul-searching and emotional reckoning. He had to really think about his life and feelings. He admitted and acknowledged that balancing his ambition and drive with family life had been a real challenge and struggle. He said that his first marriage had taught him valuable and important lessons about love, loyalty, and the sacrifices that come with chasing success and fame. About a decade later, roughly 10 years after his divorce, Costner found love again. This time it was with Christine Baumgartner, a beautiful and accomplished woman who worked as a model and handbag designer. She was nearly 20 years younger than him, which means there was a big age difference. The two first met each other in the 1990s, but they didn't start dating seriously and exclusively until the early 2000s. Their romance and relationship was initially met with skepticism and doubt from tabloid magazines and fans. People speculated and wondered about their age difference and whether Costner was really ready to settle down and get married again. But the couple's bond and connection proved to be strong and real. Christine brought a renewed sense of calm, peace, and happiness into Costner's life. After a brief breakup and separation over differing and different views on having children together, Christine wanted to have them, and Costner wasn't sure if he did. They reconciled and got back together. They realized that their love for each other outweighed and was bigger than their fears about the future. The couple got married in September 2004 in a beautiful, picturesque ceremony at Costner's ranch in Aspen, Colorado. The wedding event was intimate yet grand at the same time, blending rustic Western charm with Hollywood elegance and style. Together, Kevin and Christine welcomed and had 3 children together. Their names are Caden, Hayes, and Grace. This brought Kevin's total number of children to 7 kids in all. Becoming a father again in his 50s gave Costner a renewed and fresh sense of purpose and meaning in life. He often spoke and talked about how deeply he loved his family, and how Christine's presence and being in his life inspired him to embrace and enjoy life's slower, more meaningful moments and experiences. For nearly 2 decades, almost 20 years, the pair appeared to be inseparable and very close. They frequently attended red carpet events together and supported each other's pursuits, dreams, and careers. Christine accompanied and went with Kevin during his Yellowstone success era, when he portrayed and played the stoic, strong ranch patriarch John Dutton. This was a role that echoed and mirrored his real-life love for family and the American West. However, after 20 years of marriage together, Costner and Baumgartner's relationship came to an unexpected and surprising end in 2024. Their divorce, just like his first one, captured widespread media attention, and everyone was talking about it. Fans were stunned and shocked to see another one of Hollywood's seemingly enduring and lasting couples part ways and split up. While neither Kevin nor Christine revealed or shared many details publicly about what happened, sources close to the couple suggested and indicated that Costner's demanding and busy filming schedule contributed to problems. His growing commitments outside of acting, including his passion project called Horizon, an American saga, had also contributed to the strain and pressure on their marriage. Despite all the sadness and heartbreak surrounding their separation and split, both Costner and Baumgartner have expressed and said that they have a desire to prioritize their children's well-being and happiness. They both want to maintain respect for one another and treat each other well even though they're no longer together. Kevin Costner has always been a man of quiet dignity and grace. He is someone who lets his work and movies speak for themselves rather than chase the constant noise, drama, and gossip of Hollywood celebrity culture. Yet, as he turned 70 years old, the Oscar-winning actor, director, and producer decided to finally open up and share about one of the most influential and important figures in his life, Robert Redford. Their paths, both personal and professional, have been intertwined and connected for many decades. Redford has served as both a mentor and teacher, as well as a creative kindred spirit and someone who thinks like him. For many years, fans speculated and wondered about the relationship between these two Hollywood legends and icons. But Costner's recent reflections and thoughts have finally revealed and shown the truth about their connection. In an emotional and heartfelt interview, Costner admitted and confessed that his admiration and respect for Redford runs far deeper than the typical respect that is usually shared between two actors. Robert wasn't just someone I looked up to and admired. He was the kind of artist who showed me what it really meant to take risks and be brave. Costner said, "He had this quiet intensity and strength, a presence that didn't demand or ask for attention, but naturally drew you in and made you pay attention. Watching him and learning from him made me realize that storytelling wasn't just about acting and performing. It was about having a purpose and meaning behind your work." That sense of purpose and meaning became evident and clear early in Costner's career, when he was still trying to find his footing and figure things out in Hollywood. Redford was already an established icon and legend, an actor known and recognized for his grace, intelligence, and independence. Costner has often said and mentioned that Redford's decision to step behind the camera and become a director inspired his own directorial ambitions and dreams. When Robert made the movie Ordinary People, I remember thinking to myself, that's what I want to do someday, to tell stories that matter and are important. Costner recalled and remembered, "He showed me and taught me that you could be an actor and still have a voice that shaped and influenced the bigger picture of filmmaking." The connection and bond between the two became even more personal and meaningful when Redford approached and contacted Costner to star in a movie called A River Runs Through It in the early 1990s. Although the role and part eventually went to another actor named Brad Pitt, Costner revealed and shared that the conversations he had with Redford during that time were some of the most meaningful and important conversations of his entire career. Robert told me that the movie wasn't just about fishing or Montana and the setting. It was really about fathers and sons, about the things that men struggle to say to one another and can't express easily. Costner said, "That message and idea stayed with me for years and years. It reminded me of my own relationship with my father and made me think about my life." Their friendship wasn't built or based on flashy Hollywood parties or public appearances and being seen together. Instead, it was built on shared values and beliefs that they both cared about. Both men have always preferred the quiet beauty of nature and the outdoors to the glitz and glamour of Los Angeles and city life. Redford, who is the founder of the Sundance Institute, and Costner, who built his own ranch in Colorado, share a profound and deep connection to the American landscape and the land. Robert and I have talked about the West and nature more than we've ever talked about movies and filmmaking," Costner said with a laugh and smile. "We both see it and view it as a living thing, a place that shaped us and made us who we are, and still calls us back home." Costner's admiration and respect also extends to Redford's moral courage and strength of character. He never sold out or compromised his values, Costner stated firmly and strongly. In a business and industry that often rewards compromise and giving in, Robert stood for something real and important. He believed in independent film and cinema, in giving new voices and filmmakers a chance to tell their stories. That kind of integrity and honesty is rare and special. Costner acknowledged and admitted that it was Redford's vision and example that gave him the courage and bravery to make Dances with Wolves, which was a film that very few people believed would succeed or do well. "I remember thinking to myself, if Robert can bet on himself and take a risk, then I can too," he said. "He made me believe and understand that following your instincts and gut feelings is worth every risk you take, no matter what happens." Even now, many decades later, Costner admits and says that Redford's influence and impact lingers and remains in everything he does and creates. "When I direct a film, I still hear Robert's voice in my head, calm, thoughtful, and always reminding me to slow down and find the truth in the scene and moment." Costner reflected and thought back. "He never told me exactly what to do or gave me orders, but somehow he made me see things more clearly and understand them better." Their bond and friendship, though mostly private and away from the public eye, represents something rare and unusual in Hollywood. It's a relationship of mutual respect without rivalry or competition. People love to pit actors against each other and create drama, but with Robert, there was never any competition or jealousy. Costner said, "We were just two guys trying to tell stories that meant something and were important to people." As Costner approaches and enters the later chapters of his career and life, he sees and views Redford not just as a mentor and teacher, but as a symbol and example of what an artist should strive to be: authentic, compassionate, caring, and fearless. "I owe a lot to him, and am grateful for everything he taught me," Costner admitted softly and quietly. "If I've ever made a film that touched someone, that made them stop and feel something real and genuine, it's because men like Robert Redford showed me how it's done and taught me the way." For Kevin Costner, the truth about Robert Redford is simple yet profound and meaningful. He was never just a Hollywood legend or famous actor. He was a teacher and guide, a trailblazer and pioneer, and a friend who helped shape and mold the man Costner became over the years. "Robert taught me and showed me that success isn't about fame and being well known," Costner concluded and finished. "It's about living with integrity and honesty, standing by your work and believing in it, and never forgetting why you fell in love with storytelling in the first place and what drew you to it." At 70 years old, Costner's words carry the weight and wisdom of experience and a lifetime of learning. It's a heartfelt tribute and honoring to a friendship that transcended and went beyond time, fame, and the bright lights of Hollywood. Instead, it was built on respect, shared vision and dreams, and an enduring and lasting love for the craft and art of filmmaking that defined them both and made them who they are.